Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. In last week's marathon session of oral arguments on motions in limine, one of the items that was addressed during the 404B in limine motion was the mysterious traffic stop of Brian C. Kohberger by a Latah County Sheriff's deputy named Darren Duke that occurred August 21st, 2022. This was roughly 2.5 months before the tragedies that occurred at 1122 King Road. Mr. Kohberger is charged with 5 very serious first-degree felonies concerning the events at 1122 King Road on November 13th, 2022. He is at all times considered innocent under the eyes of the law until or unless he is, number one, adjudicated guilty by the future jury after the trial occurs this summer in Ada County, or if he pleads guilty to the charges that have been brought against him via indictment by the Latah County grand jury that occurred back in May of 2023. Now, I call this traffic stop mysterious because of all of the body cam footage of other traffic stops that Mr. Kohberger was involved with from August of 2022 through December of 2022. Only this traffic stop, which occurred in Moscow, approximately 2 miles or so from 1122 King Road, the body cam footage has never been released to the public. The public has seen the traffic citation that Sheriff's Deputy Duke wrote concerning this traffic stop. It was for a seatbelt violation, and it was only after the case was opened up, if you will, and some of the evidence from the case permitted to be disclosed to the public, which only began happening in 2025, we learned that Sheriff's Deputy Duke apparently stopped Mr. Kohberger on a possibility that he was speeding. But the citation that he was given was just for the seatbelt violation. There have been 4 total traffic stops that occurred from August through December. This brief 3-month period, he was stopped 4 times. The first occurred when Sheriff's Deputy Duke stopped him August 21st in Moscow. The second happened when he was stopped in Washington State by a WSU, Washington State University officer, and that happened in October. And then there were 2 stops that occurred within several minutes of each other on December 15th, 2022 in Indiana, as Mr. Kohberger was making the infamous cross-country trip home from Washington State University, where he was attending college as a PhD candidate. He had just finished his first semester and was heading home with his father to his family home in Monroe County, Pennsylvania, when he was stopped twice within minutes of each other by 2 different law enforcement officials in Indiana. So we circle back to this first traffic stop, and it's a mystery why, of all of these 4 traffic stops, that traffic stop in Moscow has never been released. The defense wants that traffic stop body cam footage to be thrown out. They're claiming it's prejudicial. It might raise some sort of a thought process in the jury that Mr. Kohberger has a propensity, has a character for engaging in bad acts. We learned for the first time during the hearing on April 9th that he apparently was questioning why he had to give Officer Duke his telephone number and other related materials that the defense feels is too prejudicial. It could confuse the issues. It could be misleading to the jury. They want that traffic stop never seen by the public to be thrown out. The state turned around and said words to the effect that Mr. Kohberger might not like it, but the fact is that this is merely shown that he had control of the white Hyundai Elantra that the state believes is suspect vehicle 1, wanted in connection with the crimes that happened at 1122 King Road, that they go to prove where he lived. He gave his address in Pullman, which is where he was living at the time, of his telephone number that was then later used. This is the 8458 number that you see referenced repeatedly in the affidavit of probable cause, and that was used by the state to attempt to track his movements on November 13th, 2022, and at other times pertinent to November 13th, 2022. So the question is, why is this body cam not yet released to the public? We have the traffic citation here, but not the body cam image. And coming out of the hearing on the 9th of April, it doesn't appear that much is appearing on that body cam footage except the image of Mr. Kohberger being stopped, that it's at nighttime, that he had a conversation with Sheriff Duke regarding why he was stopped, questioning why he had to turn over his telephone number, questioning the need for having to wear seatbelts. It doesn't seem like there's a lot there. There was some conjecture that someone else might have been in the car with him. There's no mention of that. So it appears it was a simple traffic stop, is what we're told, of a person who was thought to be speeding, who wound up receiving a traffic citation for a seatbelt violation, and which he went ahead and apparently paid this fine. So we will not know what Judge Hippler rules, although he did give a little bit of information during the hearing as to how he might be leaning. It is not until we see the written order that we know if this traffic stop is going to be thrown out entirely, if it will be redacted, and then be able to be shown to the jury this summer. This is the entire purpose of this in limine motion, to determine pre-trial the type of evidence, including this mysterious traffic stop never seen by the public. Will it or will it not be permitted to be used by the prosecution at the case in chief, which is scheduled to occur on August 21st, 2025 in Ada County, with Judge Stephen J. Hippler presiding. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them here. All are appreciated. And until next time, this is Kathy. Thanks for joining us here today.